GM, everyone. Hello and welcome to another Developer Skills. We have again a guest that you probably know, namely Leo. He is one of a former hackathon winner of the global hackathon. Like he won the whole thing, and I'm very glad to have him here with us. But what will we actually do? We will talk about how to win a Solana hackathon, like from himself, and how to find a winning product in the first place. Maybe this will be very interesting for those of you who are joining even an ideathon, because every project starts with an idea, and we will find out how to do this right now. So if you are even coming to Munich in the next 2 days for the Munich hackathon, or if you are in Aachen, just follow our Twitter. We will show you all the places around where you can start off your journey. So if you don't know what an ideathon is, let me know. You can contact me on Twitter or just look up on our Twitter at SuperteamDE. You will find all the details there. It's like a smaller hackathon with just the idea where you can win some nice cash prizes. And but yeah, finally, we will talk about how to communicate in general, how to work, and to create your MVP. Because basically what you will create in the hackathon, in the upcoming hackathon, is create your idea, make a pitch, and an MVP to showcase to the judges. But you will all hear it from the professional himself. So let's welcome Leo to the stage.
Hey everyone, thank you for having me, Mike.
Nice
So
to
I'm
have you.
Leo, one of the co-founder of Reflect Money. We won I think it was 2 hackathons ago. We won the grand prize winner from 2 hackathons ago with our current product. Right now we just released our announcement of the seed round that we did, and we just launched our first product live on mainnet. So it's been a long way.
It's just great to have you back. Like, definitely, you are the person that you can learn from how to win a hackathon. Like, it's so hard to have like these global hackathons and even win the first prize. That's just like massively impressive. So thank you again for having you here. And I think it will be extremely valuable for all the viewers out there to get the information right now, because the hackathon is just right at the front door. It's just starting in like 2 weeks. So definitely you will learn some alpha. You will get to know how to make it in this hackathon.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So I guess maybe let's start with how to find a good idea. So pretty much I think something that people don't realize is that not everything needs to be on chain, and I think something that it's a bad idea. Let's start with something that it's a bad idea before going to good ideas. Something that it's a bad idea is something that actually doesn't need to be on chain, but people want to put on chain. So first of all, if you think that, like, you really need to think when you're thinking about an idea, it's like, does this really need an on-chain part, and why does it need it? Because that will be the main strength of like the full pitch, the way that you talk about it to the public, the way that you talk about it like on Twitter, the way that you talk about it with like investor. You really need to think, what's the unique value proposition that people just using Web2 cannot steal from me. And after that, I think another good idea is like, keep it very, very simple. Like, simple ideas are the one that wins because are the one that can be communicated very, very easily. For us, when we were building Reflect, we were just like pitching a yield bearing stablecoin. It was something new, but it's not something out of the water, because like everybody know what's a yield. Everybody at that point knew what was a stablecoin, and so pitching a yield bearing stablecoin was very, very easy for us. At the same time, naturally, it wasn't just a yield bearing stablecoin. There was so much behind the curtain, but the basic idea was very, very simple. So think about what needs to be on chain, and think about a very, very simple idea that then you can make it unique in your own way. And third, be cyberpunk. Like, think really, really hard about like it's like not only why this needs to be on chain, but it's like why it should be on chain. It's like what's the unique value proposition that being on chain can do to them.
But you mentioned that like just the idea itself should be simple, right? Because I'm very sure that reflect money behind the curtains is extremely hard to pull off. So just the image or like what people see should be easy. Like, okay, you can earn money on your stablecoins, but the product itself is not easy, right?
Yeah. So one thing that, and we can go into like how to talk about an idea, because it's something that I think in the last year, like I learned so much. It's like the basic idea should be very, very simple. Like you should be communicating in like 3 words, like maybe 4 words. If you want to go all in, it should be communicated in like one phrase. But naturally, the product under the hood could be very, very complicated. Reflect is, I think it's very, very complicated. But at the same time, it's like when we talk to people, based on naturally, like we can go very, very technical about it. We can talk to very, very technical people about like everything that happens under the hood. But like most of the time, we talk really, really simple. It's like whatever happens in your bank. It's like a bank on chain. You put your money in, we lend it to people, you get your money out with additional yield. And so it's just like think about the idea in very, very simple words, because this is the way you win. Like the way you win is like by talking about your idea in very, very simple words that anybody can understand.
Right. And I think it has also like a bonus aspect because those hackathons have like thousands of submissions, right? And if you think about it, people don't have much time to look into every single idea. And if you communicate your product in a way that it's too hard to understand, people might just skip it, think that it's like impossible to pull off, or they don't understand it, so it should be irrelevant. Definitely a very good aspect.
Yeah, and that's a very good point, Mike, because like when I participated, I think it was like 1,200 submission. I think last year, like last hackathon, we got 1,400. Like the number of submission is always growing. Naturally, not all of them are of quality, so don't worry about it. But at the same time, it's like you should hook the people in the first 10 seconds. Like usually, I judge some hackathon, and naturally, it's like I would like to go through 1,400 different projects, but it's impossible. Like everybody got a day job, everybody got things to do, and like it's impossible for us to go through all of the submission. And so what we usually do is just like look at like you will be able to send a tagline, and it's like look at the tagline and be very, very like create a hook for that tagline. Like you need people to go in and just like think, oh, I really want to know more about it. And so after that, it's like it's really like you really need to be very, very mindful about how you craft your submission, because at each point you need to make sure to not lose the judge. And other than that, and this was another point that I wanted to make in the in how to win the hackathon, is be on social. Like it doesn't need to be the page of your product, but yourself as a founder, you always need to be on Twitter. You need to talk about your product. You need to talk about like you need to have the name at the first day so you can continue to push it on the timeline. Because what happened there is like most of us from the Web3 community are like 24/7 on Twitter. And if we start seeing your name pop up more, when I go to the submission and I see the name into the submission, I will know that, like, I will know what you're thinking about, and I definitely will stay on that submission and read it through carefully and fully.
Yes, for sure. Like social media, specifically Twitter, is very important in those hackathons because what people or like what the judges see is not like just a project that you created just like that, but they want to see a business case where it happens to be like, or where it will become a true project like Leo did with Reflect Money. And if they see that you're committed to it, like creating posts on X showing what you do, or like what is like what benefits it has, then it will give you so much more bonus points, and will land you maybe even a win.
Yeah, and there are so many times where like you can see posts from like people in the Web3 community that talk about problems. And so it's like one way that it's very easy for you to actually hook your product is this is the problem, quote tweet the problem, and just say this is the solution, and this is why I'm building this. Like you need to do it every day. Like you need to talk about the idea. You need to talk about like really explain your vision, because as a founder, I always believe that the vision is the like you're the only one that actually care about the vision. It's like, and you need to make everybody care about the vision, because this is a big selling point in what you're doing. And so the way that you do that is by talking very in simple term about your vision, but at the same time it's like continue to talk about it every day. And it's like if you I think like the way that you should do the marketing for like, and it's not really even marketing, but like talk about your idea during the hackathon is if you have a good personal profile with like some traction and some followers, probably just use your own personal account and use what we call usually founder-led marketing. But if you don't have a presence right now, and it's not a problem, you don't have to have a presence, probably even creating a new account for your project might be even better.
Yes, definitely. Like the key aspect here is to do it on a regular basis. So we saw many projects that they just post like an initial thread or like just one post, and then like maybe at the end of the hackathon. But really showing what you do, like it can be even just a post that you say today. Those are the points that we have to work through. Like let's say making the landing page or improving UX, and then just showing to the community what you have, and the consistency, like taking the consistency, making it a habit to just post, will increase definitely your outcome in the hackathon too. So that's also one very aspect that most of the people do not take care of. Like even we have people in Berlin taking part in the build station that they just code all the time, don't communicate at all, and it will affect the outcome in a bad way, unfortunately. Like how
Yeah.
have you done it with Reflect Money? How was your strategy with the social media back then?
So luckily both me and Nico are very known in the space, so it was kind of more easily. But at the same time, it was just like continue to push and continue to talk about like the new ideas that we had when we presented Reflect for the first time. So we had two different ideas at that time. We had the delta neutral strategy, the yield bearing stablecoin, that is what is currently our main focus. But we had a very cool, pretty much lending protocol. They use stake account to actually create like self-repaying loan. And so it was more like we were pitching Reflect as the all-in space for everything banking, everything DeFi, and like and it's like it wasn't a DeFi that was targeted to every DeFi user, but it was a type of DeFi that was targeted to traditional finance people. So people that already like we weren't talking about like crazy looping or like everything that like the DJ knows, but we were talking in a way that if I would talk to my mother about my idea, she would understand what it was, because we were like doing all this type of linking with like what's in the traditional banking system and how we're putting that on chain in a more efficient way. So this is definitely one way that we were talking about Reflect at that point.
And that's like a very interesting point that you raised there, because if I quote my professor from university, he said that the best use case of blockchain is where you cannot see blockchain. Like it's very controversial, but if you think about it, most of the people in the world are still not onboarded, and the space is comparatively small. and like he has the professor, he himself has works at Fraunhofer. He has his own department for blockchain products. Like he's doing it for over 5 years, I think. And still he believes that the best aspect is where you cannot see the blockchain. So make it simple, make it to the public. I'm not sure. Do you know if the judges there are also partially not even in the blockchain space, or are they like purely Solana maxis?
No, they're purely Solana maxis. Like the usual founders are all ex-winner, like current co-founder of like pretty much like the best thing in the space. So definitely, it's like everybody is fully is fully a Solana maxi, but at the same time, it's like I think like they themselves try to find something that is like not for degen. It's like they want to like, and it's totally cool if you want to be if you want to do something like a degen, but it's very hard, I think, to build a product that is only for the degen instead of like for the masses.
I see. And those professionals, they know what works. And as you mentioned, like if you say they look something for the general public, obviously your product will attract more people if you not only do it for degen people, as you mentioned. So this is like one alpha that might be very important for this hackathon, because Reflect Money itself, like it was an idea that, as you said, like I can just be a regular person, never have done anything with blockchain, and then just see like a high yield bearing product that happens to use blockchain. That's just like a win-win, right? So you have the Solana space, like you have a business case where you don't see the blockchain, but it's very important to have it there.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. Like we're pitching it as a bank, but we're making sure that everybody knows that this is because like everybody is like saying, how is it possible? It's like, yeah, this is only possible because of blockchain. But like you're associated to a normal product, but at the same time you tell them exactly that this is only possible for blockchain. And this is, I think, to be honest, this is the best way to onboard new people, because it's like, oh, I know about this stuff. Oh, wait. It can be even more optimized and even better on blockchain. Maybe there is something interesting in blockchain after all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I guess maybe something to talk about would be even to have like a list of things that you need to be prepared in like different timeline when you think about the hackathon, because it's very easy to just like get lost in the sauce and just like continue over and just like forget about this small thing. But as Mike said, post every day about your idea. And like, to be honest, posting about the idea, and this is something that I forgot about to say before, like posting about your idea every day actually helps you even refine the idea, because like people could say, yeah, that's actually not that great, like you should probably go that way, or like this is actually very interesting, let's work together, and like you form a partnership like that. And so it's like, always talk about your idea from like day zero. But one other thing that you should always have is, if you can, always have an MVP. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be 100%. It doesn't need to 100% work. But having an MVP is a great plus when during a submission. And to have an MVP, today there are so many reasons. There is like you can use AI. Naturally, I wouldn't go into production with an AI product, but at the same time, it's like once you win and you have the money, it's easier to hire a CTO if you're a non-technical person. But it's like, try to build an MVP that works, that showcase the power, because the thing is like, it doesn't even need to show you that it's feasible, because even if feasibility is one of the main point, but actually having a page that show the UX of what you're trying to do is actually a very big selling point, because people might think they know what you're building, but when they see it in action, they're like, oh, this is what they're building. And so this is how you sell it for yourself. So try to have an MVP. You can use AI, you can use Blue Shift, but we're going to talk about this next week. You talk about your idea every day. Don't forget about the pitch deck. The pitch deck and the video are some of the most important thing. You don't want to cram it out last night, because let me tell you, we did that. It was awful. Like I think we submitted like 30 seconds before because the video wasn't uploading. Awful. If I could come back, I would redo it. The video probably was one of the worst. That one of the worst part of the submission. It was like 5 minutes long. Don't do that. It's very like you should never do that. But luckily, it didn't matter for the submission at the end. But please keep it short, keep it simple, make it. I don't remember how much they advised you for the time. I think 1 minute, 1 minute and a half, maybe two.
It's like 2 to 3. I think the pitch itself, like the last time it was 2 videos. So the demo itself can be up to 3 minutes, and then the pitch, like the product sides, can be, I think, 2 minutes. But we like all the details we will get in the next sessions. So like in 2 weeks we have the call again with Leo but now then with Blue Shift, like education wise, and all the details we will post on our social media. But roughly talking right now, it will be like 3 minutes each, or 3 and 2 minutes. So they
Nice.
split it.
And to be honest, from what I learned from like actually raising money from VC, you don't need like when you're talking about your idea, don't just talk over the pitch deck. It's like they have the pitch deck, and the pitch deck should work on its own. And then that means that you have an additional 2 minutes over the pitch deck, not to explain the pitch deck, because like if you did a very, very good job with the pitch deck, they will already know what's there, and they can imagine how you talk over it. But use those 2 minutes to just like pitch your idea. Like no pitch deck, no nothing, just like straight out talk to the camera and really explain your vision, what drives you, why you will win, and like everything that you think that might increase the possibility of like you winning the hackathon. But don't talk over the pitch deck. Make the pitch deck stand on its own. And so probably on timeline, I guess you should probably start working on your you should start working on your pitch from day 0. And this is like one of the biggest hack that anybody can tell you is like everybody tells you start working on your pitch last week. No, start working on your pitch for day 1, because this is how you find the idea. It's like when you put it on paper, when you put your idea on paper, you can really see, and like when you focus on like what's the strength, what's the weakness, how do I talk about it, what's the roadmap, who are the competitor. At that point, if you do it from day 0, it's very, very easy to find all the strength, all the weakness, and even like if you're forced to find the competitor day 0, you can always see, oh wait, I can do better than my competitor on that. And so it's like this becomes like an active way of building the product instead of like a passive way, because at that point, when you're done with your product, when you build the pitch deck, it's already there. Like you cannot change how you make something better than the competitor. You can just like list the competitor and say, oh yeah, maybe we do this better. And so it's like if you instead you take it the other way and you build your pitch deck with your product, because like the pitch deck is what keeps you accountable and what keeps you what makes you actually drive the product side.
And this aspect aligns well with the idea of like working on the product and changing it while you're doing it. Let's say you have an idea, but then you have to change throughout the way. It's usually with startups that I have, like when I go in VCs and have like their incubation phase, that they switch the idea to some extent. So don't be afraid of like changing your idea to slight ways. And what is very important with regard with what you have mentioned is that you should talk to people. Like it aligns with the idea of posting about it. Like if people say, maybe this aspect wasn't the best, how you should do it, or like we don't like that you changed the layout in this way because now we don't know how to use it. Especially if you're a solo founder, because I think solo founders have the idea. They are like in a bubble where they say, okay, I have to do this thing that as I think it will be done and how people should use it. But the best way to find out if people will use it is to talk to people, like post it, talk about it, test with people, which is one aspect that I recommend everybody to do. There's are even like books out there about talking to people, like testing with people, and this is how you refine your idea throughout the timeline.
Yeah, yeah. And on what Mike said, I love the idea of like never marry the idea, marry the product. It's like there is no reason why you should continue to think that your product is just an idea. You should think about the product, and products evolve. Like if I tell you how many times we pivoted in like 1 year, you will think we're crazy. Like you will think that we don't know what we're doing. Maybe we don't, but I think it's just like the matter of like building a startup is just like continue to pivot, continue to think about different prioritize what actually makes an impact right now, and just pivot. I think.
Exactly. Like the pivoting part will happen to nearly every startup. So starting early when you are still in the building phase will increase your chances or like even lower your workload later on in the journey. Definitely a very important aspect. So this is like one thing that I wanted to mention because it's extremely important. If you are even have the chance to come to Berlin to the build station, which we will talk about later in like the next guilds in the next weeks, be there, show up, and just communicate your product. Just talk to us. Like I will be there helping from a technical side, but you can always ask the mentors that are there, or just talk to people. Like, does it make sense? Will you use it? Or like, how would you use it? Like even just testing, like showing people your product, they play with it, and then they just do it like completely different as you intended it to be, which means that you should change it, right? Make it like intuitive, make it simple, and the simplicity is extremely important. I have also judged many hackathons in the past year myself, and what I have seen is that some people put so much work into making like one product for everything. And I think, Leo, you probably know yourself from a judging perspective. Do not try to do everything. Keep it very simple. Stick to one aspect that is like a pain point and show why you will solve it and how you are the right person to change it and why your product will help people. Have you like some bad points or like some submissions where you see as a judge, this will never happen, or like I will just skip it because it's so bad? Can you give us some advice or some examples?
I think it's just like too technical stuff. Like when you pitch your product in a too technical way. Like to be honest, I was one of the people that's like, no, I want to pitch people in a technical way, like because like they really need to understand what's going on. Like they really need to understand why my product is great. Now it's like, sorry about that. It doesn't. Sorry about that again. It never actually happened that way. It's like if somebody doesn't understand what the product does in like 3 words, you're done. It's like they're just gonna skip over it. And so just like make sure that at least the first part of like very easy, and then you can like always like the first thing that people see needs to always be very easy. And then you can go a little bit more technical when you talk about it, when you put it into the picture, like towards the end. So it's just like you hook the people, and like once they wasted 30 seconds, now they're just gonna like listen to you for the whole thing, because like they already listen for 30 seconds. If you don't say anything like fucked up, probably they're just gonna sit for the whole 2 minutes. And so at that point, you can really make some points about like the technical stuff. So first, like I hate submissions that are very technical at the start. Second, as I said before, I hate submission that actually doesn't require blockchain, or they don't have like they're pretty much like non-monetizable. Like if you see an idea and see there is no way that they can actually monetize this, that's not a great submission. So think about the way that you monetize. And then like, to be honest, it's fine to not monetize at the start, but it's like what it's not fine is like not have the possibility of monetizing ever, because then it's like you don't have a business, you have a charity. And if you want to do a charity, it's pretty good, but like probably not not for an hackathon where people compete to build products and startups. Another, let's see. Let me think about it. Probably like I hate to say it, but like there are like last hackathon there was a last submission where like you know that the person is coming from the EVM stuff because like they haven't updated anything to the Solana tech stack, but like they're still using the EVM tech stack. So if you're coming from EVM, it's totally fine. We appreciate you, but please think about like what's different from like the EVM stack to the SVM stack because it's actually pretty different. And so it's like if you continue to think that Solana works like EVM, not gonna make it.
Yeah,
I guess. To be honest, this is my top 3 of like submission that I saw last year that like said, yeah, no.
Like this is what I've also seen. There were some smaller Solana hackathons or like hackathons where people were building on Solana and they did not even implement anything on chain, like, or some even just on EVM. Like this is even more extreme as what you said. Like you said, if there's like EVM cases and they just copy it to SVM, that might be difficult or even infeasible. But then again, like they should be on Solana. Like we are talking about a Solana hackathon, so it should be to some extent on chain. But as you mentioned at the very beginning, you mentioned not everything has to be on chain, and this is a very nice aspect I wanted to raise because when you are developing on chain, just a small portion, mostly a small portion, is on chain. So like think about, do I need a backend? Do I need a like what kind of front end do I have? How will people interact with it? And start thinking about those organizatory aspects early on. Because if you start, let's say, working on an idea and put everything on chain and have like a website, but at the end you make like user tests far too late, which is not good, and they say that they want an app instead of like going to the web. So those are aspects that you should think about early on.
Yeah, 100% agreed.
But okay, we talked about having a hook at the very beginning. Have you seen products or submissions where you say those were amazing because, and then ... like let's say the hook was great and then you listened and understood, or what makes the pitch itself great?
So I guess it's like, and this works like to like if you ever went on TikTok or like or like Instagram Reels, and I guess you probably saw them. There is a lot of good example of like how to make a hook. Like you shouldn't think that content creator actually don't know what, like they should be your inspiration when they're when you're in front of the camera or like for storytelling, because most of like, naturally not all of them, but like most of the people or like some of the people that actually do storytelling for a life, they actually know what they're doing. And so one example that I think I want to give is like Cluely. I think they are one of the best marketed, like I don't agree with the product, and like I think there is a lot of value there, but at the same time, it's like the way that they got so much adoption, so many user, is because like they had an incredible marketing around it, and it was, so it's just like go to Cluely, see what they did. They just raised $50 million from A16Z, so definitely they know what they're doing. Or just like look at the look on like Instagram, look on like YouTube, and like see like all these storytelling videos, and like see how they hook people. Like you'll see that always in the first 5 seconds there is a hook that can be the problem, that can be something that they solve, and it's just like it's very easy.
And talking about which, because like I think it's very interesting. I've never thought about this aspect of looking at influencers or how viral videos are doing it. But now when I'm thinking about it, they are like highly edited as well, right? Would you recommend, or like, have you ever seen that some submissions were like highly edited, where you see like pop-up screens, like we see it from Jupyter or the Solana Foundation, right? You see videos, there's like words popping up, there's showing some different stuff. Have you seen it? Because I've never seen it. I've just seen like a screen with the product, with the face like somewhere in the bottom. And would
Yeah.
you recommend it even?
I think I would recommend it just because it's like everybody has like very, very small attention span. So like everything that you can do to increase that attention span is like you can say that as like an high ROI, but at the same time, it's like most of the people are not video editor. They don't know how to video edit, and so they will need to pay somebody to actually video edit their thing. So it's very easy to see like at a seed round stage or like as a starting stage, like people just like YOLOing videos, and that's completely fine. If you have a very, very good copy, you don't need the pop-ups. You don't need anything. Naturally, if you're a video editor and you want to spend a little bit more time on your submission, that's probably where the biggest ROI is, in my opinion.
That's a very interesting point. I've never thought about it, but now that you mention, is obviously there are like thousands, 500 submissions, or like even 2,000 this time. We don't know. Like the hackathons are growing and growing, and if you have like some point that you will stand out, like people like imagine you're a judge, and then you see like maybe you are assigned to look over 100 submissions, like which is even like extremely a lot, because when I've judged some, I just have to go through 10 or 15. It's like manageable, but still it's a lot, right? Now let's say you see just the videos. You are in front of the screen, you are bored because you looked at some people just talking straight to the camera and showing the product. But now when you have like some engaging video, people will like brighten up and show like even your product to other people, like saying, look at this, they have done it this way. And then you get more visibility, you get more traction, maybe more more people will look at it, and it will just increase your chances. Like, think about it, it's not just about the product that you do, it's everything around it. Like marketing is an extremely important aspect. Then I think people should think about like even putting more effort into the video than the product. Maybe it's not the best way, but definitely the best way to get more traction.
Yeah, it's easier to get more traction through a video than through a product. I think like you should prioritize both of them like at the same time. And one thing about to make sure that you guys understand how virality is actually good, naturally, this person that I'm about to talk about, well, I think I can do a good example and a bad example, but that still worked. The good example is probably Burger Bob. If you guys don't know who Burger Bob is, please, it's you probably live under a rock, but it was one of it's actually a Superteam Germany member as well, and he's like I think he was one of the best people that actually did hackathon submission because like his video were so engaging, and like every time he talked about it on the in general like on the different on Twitter, on the different apps, like I don't know, like it always went viral because the video were so well done. Like the concept it was so good, the storytelling, that definitely go look at Burger Bob and like see how he was talking about his idea when he was doing hackathons. Second example, and I'm just gonna say this just for fun. Don't take this as an advice, but last hackathon, a person went viral, not because her pitch was great, but because interesting enough, she recorded the video sitting on the toilet, smoking a cigarettes in the bathroom, like this. And so it was like for some time, it went pretty viral because like everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
That's crazy.
Naturally, this is like the product was not great. The pitch was not there, but just to let you know, everybody saw her. So I'm not saying that you should do your pitch on the toilet, but think about like the possibility of like how to go viral because it's actually very, very interesting for distribution.
And do you know, like, has she succeeded?
Unfortunately not, but like it's probably just because the pitch was really, really bad and the idea wasn't there.
All right. So yeah, it's like great to have it. Like virality is good for your product. You want people to see it. If it's like in a good or bad way, even sometimes it works. But yeah, both things have to align, right? You have to have the idea and the pitch. But think about the pitch, not just like a last minute thing that you have to do, because those hackathons just get more and more competitive, right? You have more submissions, so you have to stand out more. And that's, I think, the biggest alpha that we can take from today's session, I think. But obviously, everything that we've mentioned before is also very, very important.
Yeah.
And yeah, would you have like any other aspects? Because I think like we talked about creating the idea, MVP, video, even raising to VC. So summing up everything in like 2 sentences, what would you say? Or like just let's make a timeline. Let's say you have 2 months, or like it's 6 weeks, right? What would you start when to make it to the end?
So, first 2 weeks, just think really, really deeply about the idea and talk to people. Like the first 2 weeks are one of the most important, but just like focus, like draw on the board, like everything that needs to happen for your idea to be there. And like just think about your idea really, really deeply, talk to people. And that not only help to refine the idea, but even to find maybe co-founders. And so it's like there are a lot of people that have a lot of like they can be very, very technical, but at the same time they're not very, very product guys, so they never have an idea. So hearing your idea that is great, they might decide to join you. So first week, think about the idea. After that, start both your pitch and your MVP. So start building the MVP. So pretty much like everything that will need to go into the submission, but at the same time, start building your pitch deck. Like there are a lot of pitch deck online that have like there are bare bone, just like doesn't need to be pretty, just fill up all the pages with words and stuff. So it's easier for you after, but it's easier for you right now to understand where you can go wrong. After that, I think it's just like talk to mentors, let people try your app, let people think about your idea, start posting on social after your idea is refined, start posting on social. So probably at the 1 month mark. You don't want to start too early because you probably don't have too many ammunition to shoot, but you don't want to start too late because then it's difficult to grow and compound during that time. So probably like when you're when 1 month is missing, probably you can start talking about like your idea on Twitter. And I guess like 1 week before the submission, have everything ready. You don't want to go, trust me, you don't want to sprint to the last thing. Like you should treat it as like the submission deadline is 1 week before, because 1 week before, where you have your MVP ready, where you have your pitch deck ready, when you have your idea finally defined and done, it's very, very easy at that point to just like try to break your idea, try to think about like all the ways your idea will not work, and just try to fix it while you're recording the pitch video.
And I think it's great advice to have it like done 1 week beforehand. So let's say the end of the submission of the next hackathon will be the 30th of October. But for yourself, you can hit a target. Like let's say you have to be ready until the 26th. So imagine the 26th, or like 1 week before, like the 23rd, is your deadline. And then you have like still 1 week time to change things. So like just being ready early can be even key. Like even you mentioned yourself that you were like very stressed in the last day just creating the video. But let's say you would have it done earlier, and then like let's say just you have 1 week for the entire video. Like you have your product right, you know people will use it because you have tested it. You have your pitch deck, you have your idea, you have everything, the business case, and then you have just so you know your product will like make it. but then you just need to have a video that will attract people.
Yeah.
And finishing early is the key. Yeah.
Yeah, and like think about your video, because if you win, your video will always be in the home page of consume. So my video is very, very bad. I cannot see the winner page of that hackathon, because it's just like the video is very, very big there and it's very, very bad. So yeah.
Yeah, think about the video as well. That's like one takeaway point as well. Amazing. Yeah, we've covered so many things. Maybe just to reach back to the creating an idea, just really make it simple and find like a problem that you will solve. It shouldn't be like a problem, because like Reflect Money does not like really solve a problem, or maybe it does, but in the first place, it just like gives you more opportunity to make stuff with your cash, right? So it helps people to explore new ways of earning money, right? So this is always attractive. So if you find something that is attractive to people, or it solves a problem, then you will have an edge on other products or on other participants. And with that said, Leo, do you have any other aspects that people should think about, or anything that we did not raise so far? Oh wait, you're still muted.
I want to say, just pitch me. If you find me around in Berlin, if you don't find me around in Berlin, but you find me on Twitter, just pitch me. One thing, unfortunately, I have very little time. So as I said, treat me as a judge. So just like pitch me very, very easy. Give me like a blurb, but like make it fast. So yeah.
So if what's your advice if you talk to people? How long should your pitch be? Is it like 30 seconds or 2 minutes at most?
So it depends. If you're thinking about partnership, you like, to be honest, the way that I do partnership is just like straight go to the point. It's like, we know both that like, yeah, I would like to see like I'm not an ass. Like I want to see like, how are you? But at the same time, it's like both of our time is so valuable that I'm just gonna like straight go into pitching. Like usually I pitching like in two lines. I'm saying, yeah, this is my product. This is what I do. This is why you should actually use it. And it's like exactly like second thing is like make it always tailored to the person and to the product. It's like BD know when you're just like copy and pasting like message to all other groups. That doesn't work. Like I hate it when I receive that message, because if I need to make the time to actually read your message, please use your time to actually write that message and not just copy and paste it. So just like one line, this is my product, this is my website, this is how it actually works. And you don't even need to talk about your product in general. You need to think to talk about your product in the context of like that type of partnership. And then it's just like, here's why it's perfect for your product. Ship it, 3 lines, done. It's very, very hard that somebody doesn't read that message, because it's just like so short and so filled that it's like it takes 20 seconds to read. If they find it valuable, they're going to reach out. If they don't find it valuable, they're just going to reject it.
Exactly.
So again, this is for partnership. For VC or like in general, it's just like the same. Very, very short. It's like, this is name of the company. This is my website. This is what we do. 2 lines, 3 lines, stop. Not more. Because like the thing is like you don't need to land a VC there. You don't need to land like a mentor. You don't need to land anybody there. You just need to, it's like you're putting the foot into the door. So it's just like they need to be interested enough to wanting to learn more, but they don't need to be overwhelmed too much. They're just going to say, yeah, 100% this is not what I want to.
Yeah, the key aspect again is keep it simple and make it clear, right? It all comes to the same principles.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely very valuable insight. And yeah, maybe one final aspect that I should mention is that if you are a developer and you want to create your product, but you don't know how to start, come by in 2 weeks for the next DevGuild, because we will have again Leo, this time not from Reflect Money, but from Blue Shift, which is like the blue chip for learning on Solana. So if you are still like early on, like you're still very early on, like the hackathon hasn't even started, and you want to learn how to go out there, like maybe you are even a developer, but you want to learn more, then definitely in 2 weeks is the way to come back to like a very more technical and even more information about Solana, how to work on blockchain and all of that. So do not miss that out. This is like one final thing that I wanted to raise. And with that said, yeah.
As you can see, as you can see, guys, there were a lot of ads. So, but I'm glad because I can use them to speak on stage here at Superteam at the Superteam space. So.
Yeah, we are always happy to have you here. Like you have done so much stuff in the space that it has to be recognized, and it is recognized, right? Like people know you, you show yourself, you do multiple products, and this is what happens when you put in the work and show what you do. And that's like very valuable if you're like in the audience out there and you see like a prime example of how to do it, how to make it happen. So again, thank you very much for having you here. I think it was a great DevGuild as always. And I'm very happy to come on the next one and learn more in Solana Deep Dive.
Yeah, definitely always so much fun. So thank you for having me, Mike.
Thank you very much, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
See ya.